Hello, everybody. My name is ct-dax, and welcome back to another podcast episode on Warhammer 40,000. I'm joined, as always, with the one, the only. Tapping man.
Hey guys, what's good?
Yeah. Apologies for the delay in recent videos. Life and such. We're slowly getting the rhythm to the madness going, so we'll eventually get up to like doing 2 videos a week, whatnot. But we'll get there.
Eventually, yeah.
Yes. But still, exciting stuff, because tonight we are looking at the rise of humanity. Now, Annie, would you like to read this time?
Oh, do I get to read? You know what?
You read, and I'll just say it. Gotcha. But hey, you want to go for a minute? Go for it. Like, I tried. Okay, the force of habit, like sometimes I take over, or like I'll fix grammar or something. I try not to do that. That's one of my little flaws.
To be honest, I'm kind of okay with it. I have dyslexia, like heavy dyslexia. I need people to do that.
I know, but I always try to remember myself, like, hey, you're talking too much. Let the other person do some reading.
All right. So pretty much Rise of Humanity is where we're starting. So the Age of Terror and the Stellar Exodus.
Stellar
Exodus, M1 to M15. I'm assuming that's chapters.
Not entirely certain on that one.
Okay.
So unless it means millenniums.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
15th millennium, maybe. It could be. For millions of standard years after the Necrons and their captive Satan shards went into hibernation on their tomb worlds, the devastated populations of the intelligent species of the galaxy slowly recovered from the Satan's Red Harvest. Is that what they're calling them? Red Harvest?
I think so.
In time, the Eldari, which is obviously, we know about the Eldari. Elves, yep. Emerged the most dominant civilization in the galaxy, with the core of their star-spanned empire located in the region of the the region of the galaxy that would later become the warp rift, called the Eye of Terror. We know about that one.
Yes.
We know about that. Thank you, Space Marines too. Because we know about that. Okay, so what I've gathered now is that the Eldari were basically the first to create an empire.
After the Necrons went to sleep.
Yes, there you go.
So they were the next major players.
So it went technically Satan, Old Ones, War, Necron sleep, Eldari rise up.
Pretty much. Like the old ones were kicking around first in the galaxy, this galaxy. Oh. But the Satan have been around since like the birth of everything.
Yeah.
They were just But then old ones, Necrons, Satan came along, then all hell breaks loose.
Yep, that's exactly it. But on the planet called Earth, and later Terra, which is basically just Earth, that's just another word for it, by its inhabitants, an intelligent mammalian, thank you. Humanoid species known as humanity was rising to prominence over 40,000 standard years ago. Warhammer 40,000. Yeah, good little nod there. During the Age of Terror, or the Age of Progress, as it is sometimes called by Imperial historians. See, these are some big words, man. The human race advanced beyond its ancient pre-industrial past to obtain spacefaring capability and begin to slowly settle and terraform worlds in its own solar system and in the star systems near its homeworld using massive sublight starships. Oh, so they don't have warp stuff? They're sublight.
Yeah, just said it, sublight. But also, for the record too, for everyone watching, we're currently on the 40K wiki, so if we get things wrong or whatever, blame them.
Yeah, well, yeah. And if you think I'm reading at like a 4th grader's pace, I'm sorry.
Because he is in 4th grade.
I try, okay? I just can't seem to graduate.
It's them vowels, man.
they hurt. It's like hell.
A-E-I-O-U. Yeah. Hey, I remembered. It's only been 20 plus years.
Oh, so last two were OU. Okay, cool. Gotcha.
I think.
That's the one I kept fucking up on.
Like, I learned it when I was like 9, and then I never put another thought to it. I just made words.
Yeah, same.
I don't think about the vowels.
Made words, clearly. Okay. The so-called stellar exodus, which occurred during the Age of Terror, is a poorly understood period of human history, which is genuinely accepted to cover the majority of mankind's initial foray into interstellar space and the Genesis. Thank you. I just realized that as soon as I said it.
That's right.
Of most of the oldest human extrasolar colonies, beginning at some unknown point in the mid to late 3rd millennium. Okay, so maybe the M1 to M15 is actually millennias.
That's what I'm guessing.
That's what I'm sort of putting through. Okay. This period is genuinely understood to lead into the so-called Dark Age of technology. Now, I know about this one. Sometime around the 15th millennium AD, during much of the stellar exodus, humanity lacked any knowledge of the existence of the Immaterium?
Yeah, Immaterium.
Or warp drive, and so was forced to travel between stars in great sublight generation void ships, or using cryogenic hibernation, which makes more sense.
So like most entities, like no one has the ability to either get into the webway or the warp or anything. So you got to go stasis and sublight. And if you go close to the speed of light, you still, it may feel like a few years for you, but millions of years may pass. You know, time dilation, all that kind of shit. So it's easier to just go full speed, go into stasis, wake up when you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the easiest way to do it. Even now, people are talking about doing it for us, which is kind of funny. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, we can go to this planet. We can seed it and terraform it. Well, why don't we just terraform here?
Yeah, why wouldn't we just fix what we've fucking done?
Yeah.
Like, we could. I mean, it would be cool to go into outer space, though.
Yes.
That would be pretty sick. I mean, space scares the crap out of me because it's just voidless, basically.
Oh,
sorry, it's void. It's not voidless because that just means
yeah.
Full. It's just a void. It's just emptiness. There is so much there that it scares the crap out of me. But living on a different planet that's been terraformed would be really fucking cool.
Yeah. But even in our own solar system, like there was a movie not too long ago. It was like it's called Soldier or Terran or something like that. Basically, it's the guy from the Avatar movies. He's like a soldier, and he gets
deformed and stuff like that. He's like injected with like weird chemicals, and he becomes an alien basically, and then lives on a different planet.
And that final scene where like he's on I think they're on Titan or something. They're orbiting around Saturn. Just that view was fucking awesome.
Yeah, imagine that. That'd be fucking cool.
Oh, I'd love that.
Not only that, I kind of want to experience what cryo sleep would be like.
You're just like taking a nap, really?
But that would be like the best nap of your life.
Depending on the movie.
Think about it. You technically don't move, so you wouldn't wake yourself up.
Yeah, at the same time too, like in any of the movies, when you see cryo, some of them are like peaceful, they just close it and you go to sleep. Others is like they have to actually freeze you. Other ones, like you come out of it and you throw up 3 weeks worth of fluids because they had to slow your system down, and it gets weird. The Avatar
movie, where they end up like feeling like you feel nauseous and shit. It's because you've just come out of cryo sleep.
Oh, that and they're in 0G.
Well, I mean, technically we would also be in 0G unless they the cryopod is completely separated and then they put you on a different planet. But then again, the gravity would be different.
Yeah.
So like that would also be really cool. Just like on a planet with lesser gravity. How cool would that? You'd feel so fucking strong.
You'd actually get weaker over time.
You would get weaker because like you acclimatize to that gravity.
Yes. Yeah. It's the same thing as like astronauts in space. You lose muscle mass, bone density, whatnot, because your body doesn't have to work.
However, you can stop that by training or doing exercise based on
yeah.
So lifting weights the same too, or doubling the weight.
Yeah, like tension exercises, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually force the body to work, because if you're lifting a weights in space, you're doing fucking nothing. You're moving mass around. That does nothing to actually exert your body. But I say, like, if you're in space and you have an elastic band, okay, there's tension in this thing.
Yeah, rowing machines.
Yeah, exactly. Those would work.
I don't know what I don't know if they actually put that on there. That'd be really cool to put on there on a 0G. Like, actually back yourself down. You actually have to row to keep yourself.
Yeah, so something like that would do it. Well, they actually have like rowing machines, but it's an actual. Yeah, I think it's a tension kind of system. I saw a picture years ago, but I always back to the other thing. I always say for years, like, I was born in the wrong century, because I've always wanted, before I die, to pilot a spaceship. I don't care if I'm the dude who has to fly the spaceship into the sun so the sun doesn't explode. You know, you've seen that movie. Yeah, I would be that dude. Just like, hey, I'm 200 years old. Put me in the cockpit.
You know what?
That's a way to go for me.
You know what? I see. This is also why I technically like, and this might be blasphemy. You know, No Man's Sky.
Yes.
No Man's Sky VR genuinely gave you that feel when you're actually piloting a ship. Like, you can actually like rotate and like going into a planet. If the planet's above you, you actually do enter upside down. You know what I mean? Like that.
I never got to do No Man's Sky in VR yet, but I did do Star Wars Squadrons. Oh,
I actually haven't tried Star Wars Squadrons.
You got to do it. Star Wars Squadrons with the HOTAS controllers with VR. It's a different beast.
Really?
Like any sort of like spaceship flying game, if you're using just a controller, you're very stiff and your movements kind of Once you have the VR on, you look around, it's awesome. You see all the buttons and the gizmos, the things happening, it looks great, but still your movements kind of stiff. Once you have the joystick and the throttle, you are just like pulling into turns and like moving with like debris, and they start shooting at you. Like, you get the disorientation from barrel rolls. And
I haven't got those joysticks. I would like to get one to actually build the one to the desk so I can actually play like flight sim style games, like Star Citizen. I think it was one that was heavy on like moving like that.
The game that will never release.
Oh yeah, what is it, Star Citizen?
Yeah, I think Star Citizen is the one that's like they've been working on for 10 years and they still won't release it.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
I think maybe Starfield is the other one.
Starfield might be it.
There was one game
that was like really, really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, someone in the comments might know if they come across this. Who knows?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Anyway, so did you want to take on the Age of Technology?
Sure. The Age of Technology, M15 to M25. Much of the era of human history known to the Imperial historians as the Age of Technology, or the Dark Age of Technology, that lasted approximately between the 15th millennium and the 25th millennium AD, is mysterious. It was in this time that psychic mutants called navigators were first born, or created through genetic engineering, and combined with the invention of the warp drive, allowed humanity to travel between worlds faster than the speed of light by using the dangerous hyperdimensional physically reactive medium of the immaterial, or warp. Long before the rise of the Emperor and the birth of the Imperium, during the Age of Technology, humanity reached out to the stars, eager to occupy new worlds and expand its burgeoning interstellar empire. Vast colonization starships carried eager human settlers, along with all the resources they might require, and landed on far-flung, often isolated worlds. So yeah, pretty standard. They got themselves just up and running. But yeah, like, I hope this kind of goes into detail about the Dark Age, because, or not only the Dark Age, but the prior Dark Age, like, it gets real juicy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too much about it.
I think I'll just scroll down a little bit. I think it is going to get to it. There's like a lot happens in those few thousand years.
If you want to read it next, go for it. I'm happy just like listening for now.
All right. The first night worlds were founded at the very start of Age of Technology, before the discovery of the warp drive in the 18th millennium. When scouts from old Earth traveled far through the galaxy seeking planets to use agricultural worlds to provide food for mankind's burgeoning population, or as mining colonies to provide the materials needed to fuel their expansion across the stars. Indeed, these so-called night worlds had already been established for thousands of standard years when the Imperium was first founded in the 30th millennium. When those first human scout ships discovered a suitable planet for colonization, gigantic sublight void craft were dispatched to settle them. These ships were part of Terra's Long March fleets, named after the duration of the voyage and the destination among stars. The name was apt. Each of the Long March colony ships carried thousands of settlers on a solid decades-long journey to a far distant planet. Upon arrival, the colony ship would land and immediately be canalized by the colonists to provide raw materials needed for the first settlements. There was no hope of return to mankind's distant homeworld. So pretty basic in terms of like any sort of storyline. Like if people go to another planet, like, okay, this is a one-way trip. When we get there, we're scuttling the ship. We did every source of materials, like the engines, we'll put them in the ground and then we'll have giant heaters for winter. Like the whole caboodle. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too. Like that's I mean, is it wrong to say that, like, actually, where am I going with this? Actually, never mind. I lost my train of thought.
Well, then clearly it was wrong.
Apparently so.
The struggle for survival on many of these worlds was grim. On some, the settlers found themselves the prey of vicious predators or attacked by native alien species, naturally, which saw the human settlers as invaders. On other worlds, extreme weather conditions or unbreathable atmosphere made travel outside of the domed habitat zones next to impossible. Death worlds.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Oh, when we do the episode on Death Wells, man, that shit gets real fun. I know of one or two. And there's, off the top of my head, there's a death.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, I can't remember his exact a term that is called for. Basically, there's a group of soldiers. They're basically Australians, and they come from a death world, and they're the most badass humans getting around.
Makes sense though.
Like these guys, they're like bush. They're perfect for like tracking, and you're fighting hit and run tactics. Like think Australians in Vietnam, kind of like that. Like we're just built different in those regards.
Yeah, they were. They were just crazy how fucking different.
I can't remember the name of them. It was Castellans, maybe. No, it's not them. It's not Cadians. Cadians is very different people.
Yeah.
We'll have to do the episode on it, but they're really cool. And they're badass. Actually, 3 of them. I read a book a while ago, but 3 or 4 of those guys, when I can think of the name, took out a Tau riptide with knives.
Oh.
And a riptide, they're fucking. It's a giant, basically Gundam mech, and they took it out with knives. And managed to get into the cockpit and get the dude. Like, that's badass. And this thing is like swatting people, mowing down armies. And they're just getting it with knives.
Just stabbing the cockpit driver. That's
pretty
like much. That's basically, it's just like going for the nape on Attack on Titan. It's like going and grabbing like Eren and stabbing him.
I'm trying to remember. Was Sly Marbo?
Where's Sly Marbo?
Catachan, that's them.
Sly Marbo. That name sounds extremely familiar, actually.
So Sly Marbo, he's basically the Chuck Norris of 40K.
Yeah, there you go. That's because I know you said something about this.
Yeah, basically any sort of joke to Chuck Norris you could apply to Sly Marbo. He's got his own things, but they're Catachan fighters. They're basically like Australians. There's a lot of people like to put them, and they're actually pretty cool. I normally don't give a shit for the Astra Militarum, but those boys are cool.
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
You can't tell I'm biased.
No. Can't at all.
However, problems like these had to be anticipated, and in order to deal with them, the settlers were supplied with artificially intelligent standard template constructs, STCs. These are very important later.
Okay.
Databases and fabrication facilities that allowed them to build powerful suits of exo armor. These pilots were bipedal walking machines that were protected by a hard shell of plasteel and armed with an array of military-grade weapons.
So basically, these are just exosuits, like the robotic exosuits. They look like they're not Titans, like the Titans that. Wait, were they called Titans? Vanguard Titans. No,
whoa.
Hang on.
You're thinking of Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's the picture right there.
Yeah, but what are they called? The colossals?
Uh,
the big, like the big. Remember? Okay. Here I'll paint you a picture real quick. Space Marines 2.
yeah, I know the one you're thinking of.
That big dead one.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The term has left me. Yeah, it's Colossus in size for sure, but I can't remember the exact name.
Oh fuck yeah. So these ones are like mechs, just like
basically
one piloted mech.
I think these mechs take a lot of people to sort of run.
That makes more sense.
I think we're going to get to it though.
Okay.
These suits proved invaluable. Few, if any, natural predators or hostile alien warriors could stand against them, and they could travel through even the most dangerous environments with ease. The towering armored figures soon became a common sight on a long march, on the human long march colonies, when they were known as knights by the settlers after legendary armored warriors and protectors of ancient Terran history.
Yeah, so, there you go. That's what you're talking. And then there's a picture of the stream. They can't see this, or you could add this in editing. I don't know if you could.
Yeah.
But there's we can actually see just underneath the text there is an Imperial Knight Paladin. It's just like it's giving us a little figure basically
of House Terran.
House Terran. So basically that's what they look like.
Which I've heard the name House Terran a few times in some of the books.
I just want to quickly so what were they called? They were called knights, but they were called standard template constructs, right? No, they were database fabrics.
That was a standard template construct. They're basically AI.
Yeah. And then they made it into suits of exo armor. I just want to get a gist of the exo.
So if my memory's correct, even though I'm jumping the gun a little bit, STCs are basically like super powerful, like ultimate blueprints. Like made and like sort of developed and, you know, made all that kind of shit by AI programs. Because around this age of time, humanity really started using AI. Actually, I think it's either now or a little bit later. This AI really started coming in, and then shit really just started rolling because AI is 10 million times faster than we are.
Yeah.
So, do you want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going because I'm just currently looking at like diagram sheets of like for like size comparisons because that's the one thing I'm having trouble with is the size comparison.
Yeah, going from like model to scale, it's a little weird trying to figure it all out.
I would like to know what the scale would be. Hang on, here we go.
Just Google Imperial Knight size chart.
I don't care.
Imperial Knights are typically 9 to 12 meters, 30 to 40 feet tall. These are smaller than Titans, which can be over 60 meters.
Okay, so they are meters.
Yeah. I just did a quick Google thing. But still, like 9 to 12 meters.
That's still pretty fucking tall.
Yeah, like that's one of the smaller ones. And then you have your Titans.
That's a walking apartment.
Yes.
Jesus.
I think the length of my house is like 12 meters.
How cool would that be? You have a knight class armor as a house.
Yeah. Knights are smaller and less capable in combat than even the smallest class of Titan. Titans are colossal war machines that tower over the battlefield. Yeah. So
that's what they were called. They were called Titans.
I think it's a Riptide. Because I don't actually know the scale. Okay, so it's saying here a Riptide is about 10 to 18 meters, and the Supremacy Armor one is 18 plus meters. It's still fucking big.
Yeah.
All right, so
like that's pretty cool though.
Oh yeah. So
it's pretty impressive.
Compelled by the mind-altering effects instilled by the Throne's Mechanicum, a mind impulse control platform that allows a pilot to mentally interface with their knight's battle suit, which is pretty cool. Over the course of a few generations, these elite warriors gradually developed a society that would evolve into the later knightly houses. The plasteel plates of the original exoskeleton suits were slowly replaced with more ornate armor made from adamantium, providing better protection as well as a panoply befitting the wearer's prestige and rank in their society. Not surprising. You know, you have these kind of suits in your command, eventually, you know, you're going to lord over people.
Yeah.
Bound to happen. The more mundane duties that the knights had once taken part in on the colony was logging with their mighty reaper chainsaws, for example, or blasting apart rock with their rapid fire battle cannons, delegated to those of lesser ranks, allow the knights to focus on the arts of war and governorship. Naturally.
So these guys were using knights for basically anything.
Yeah, originally they were to help colonies start off and protect them, and okay, we need to lock down this entire forest to start building infrastructure. Well, they got giant chainsaws; they can do it one just sweep, and blasting apart mountains with their cannons, and whatnot. They weren't originally intended for warfare. Like they could do it,
but it just sounds like they just had a lot of them.
Oh yeah. Well, later on, it gets to the point where basically the Imperium is made up of about 1 million worlds.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So over thousands and thousands of years, humanity is just spreading and spreading. So like people, they're gonna start just making shit.
Yeah, we have a tendency to fucking do that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be good or bad.
Dwelling in tall strongholds, these nobles and scions.
Nobles.
Yeah, nobles is right. Get out on the ground, fight, you pricks.
Yeah, fucking stop standing in your fucking giant tin cans.
Strove to protect the lives of their subjects as they now saw the settlers they protected. And to bring order to the primeval maelstrom of the planets that were their homes, the knightly houses proved to be highly successful at both of these things, and soon became a vital part of the human society during the age of technology. The existence of rapid interstellar travel eventually provided by the invention of the warp drive allowed human colony worlds to interact on a normal timescale for the first time, and interstellar commerce and communication became possible, allowing like-minded human worlds to join into political and economic combines for their mutual benefit. Eventually, at some point during this era, all of humanity was united beneath some form of interstellar government. What is known largely from the works of the keeper Crepius, I think I said his name right, is that a group known as the Men of Gold relied on the works of the Men of Stone in order to create a fantastically preposterous interstellar society, but one devoid by later imperial standards of spirituality or piety, focused instead on upon the advancement of science and technology.
Which sounds like they became, like, in a way, the science and technology sound like more of the guys who worship the machine spirit.
Kind of.
The Mechanicus or something like that?
Kind of. It sort of became an age of just like, we're more about, expanding through science, exploration, very, Star Trek-y kind of stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and spread humanity, all these plans to protect ourselves. Why is faith getting in the middle of this?
Yeah.
So like they're trying to get away from that because like by our own history right now, if we didn't have the Dark Ages, we'd be 100 plus years ahead technologically speaking, and fucking that'd be a sight.
What caused the Dark Ages? I mean, we're still getting there.
Oh, to be honest, my memory is sketchy of the Dark Ages. Morons, basically. Basically, if you're a woman, you had a difference of opinion, you would stuff like that. Yeah, real just stupid people.
Oh, so it was coined it coined as the term of Dark Ages, which was the Little Ice Age, the Black Plague, the Famine, and the fall of the Roman Empire.
That
they
makes
were
more
classed as the Dark Ages.
All right, that makes more sense because, like I said, I didn't quite remember Rome falling. Yeah, that's a major player off the board.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if Rome was still around. They didn't have a god too.
No, Rome had gods.
They weren't, were they?
Yeah, Rome had gods. They didn't give a shit, but they had them.
Oh, they had the Greek gods, didn't they? The same as the Greek gods.
I think.
But they were more governed by man because they believe that the man was chosen to do it by themselves.
Yeah, greed, power, Hail Caesar.
But it'd be really sick if the Roman Empire didn't fall. Just think of it now.
It'd be very, very bad if it didn't.
Technology would be at a fucking all-time high. Because these guys were inventing shit before, like, we even knew it.
At the height of their sort of thing, yeah. At the same time, like, the corruption and the actual incest between their actual leaders, stuff like that. It was a very bad time.
I mean,
like Caesar was all kinds of nuts.
God, I could say something that'll just be straight up controversial for this channel.
I'm hesitant.
In other words, what changed? Sorry, guys, that's a joke. Please don't rip my head off for that. But like, we're not going to go there. We're not doing that on this channel. No,
that's a rabbit hole on our second channel where we tear apart ancient history from a moron's perspective.
Oh my God, can we please?
I'm fucking tempted.
I am sorry that we could call it Stone Age.
We just need to sit there and smoke a bit of weed and we can be stoned and talk about the Stone Age.
So good.
While listening to Rolling Stones.
The high
with a poster behind me of the Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
I don't know. Sounds fun, but yeah, I don't need more work.
No.
So speaking of which, there's a paragraph that says Stone Men. The existence of rapid interstellar travel provided wait, no, I just read that one, sorry. Eventually, at some point during this era, all of humanity was nope, read that one too. I thought I scrolled down.
You didn't make the Men of Iron. You haven't done the Stone Men.
No, I thought I scrolled down. Typically, when I stop, I scroll down. So, like, where I'm next in the paragraph is at the top.
Would you like me to read it then?
Nah, I got it. The Stone Men are known to have created a third group, the Men of Iron, postulated to be some form of artificially self-aware robots or thinking machines. In order to assist them in their labors or carry out military duties, the Iron Men became uncontrolled and rebelled against the human creators, and a cataclysmic conflict broke out, resulting in a partial Malthusian catastrophe across much of the human-settled galaxy, in which there were no longer enough resources to support the vast populations of mankind. From this time forward, it became an article of faith in human societies, and that the creation of thinking machines and all artificial general intelligence should be forbidden. I may as well just.
You said genital.
Artificial genitals.
I mean, we're already at that stage.
Yeah, they reckon they actually reckon within the next 10 years, people can have like robot wives and husbands. That technology is actually advancing very quickly.
Doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah.
I mean, someone that won't argue back, that'll just do cleaning the house and stuff. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to take it out in the rain or something.
Yeah, fuck that. Shit will rust.
Even worse, following the destruction caused by the war against the Men of Iron, human psyches began to appear in large numbers across many human colony worlds. One of the harbingers of the final decline of the Eldari Empire, which controlled even more of the galaxy than mankind did in these years. The result was humanity's first introduction to the demonic entities that dwelled within the warp, and the ultimate collapse of human interstellar civilization during what became known as the Age of Strife. On Terra itself, this period would be remembered by a different name, Old Night.
That's sick.
So, like, just to go back on that for like that last two sentences, those two paragraphs, that's like 4 or 5 videos in itself.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's like we're
going into the Age of Strife anyway, so
yeah, like the Men of Iron and the AIs.
Iron Man.
Yeah, they basically, from what I've been told and learned, like when they rebelled and fought back, this was like galaxy-wide shit. Like even other races were getting involved in the fights. It's like AI was kicking ass with like, because it's AI and they're super, super advanced and they're just going ballistic. Like they got like star destroying weapons. There's like just deleting planets if they wanted to. Like shit was bad.
They have the Death Star.
In many ways, yes.
Probably.
That's what, from what I've learned and what I've seen, like the AI got so far up there and we got so like so technologically advanced with things. We'll get really up there. And then naturally it all comes crumbling down, much like Rome.
Can I ask a question real quick to a Star Wars nerd?
Yep.
Now, was the Death Star a spaceship, or was it just a moving planet, basically? Like, did it ever move, or did it just kind of float, or did they have engines that pushed it?
No, it had engines. Never had warp too.
I didn't. Really? I think I knew about the warp, but I didn't know about if it was just something that floated.
Oh, light speed.
I didn't know if it like kind of into different areas, or if it just kind of like teleported there.
No, it has light speed and engines and all that kind of stuff. Because if you don't have those kind of things, like if you go in an orbit of a planet or a sun, you'll just fall into it and die. And then they go for all the way across the galaxy. They go from fucking Dantooine and Alderaan to fucking Yavin. That's across the galaxy.
True.
You can't float there. It would take you millions of years to float there.
Which is one of the planets they blew up for the Death Star?
Alderaan.
Alderaan. There you go.
That's no moon. It's the Emperor. But yeah, so like...
For the Emperor.
Yeah, when we get into those sort of episodes, like, I think this part of Age of Strife, we'll talk a little bit on it, but like, there's probably a good couple of videos just there, like, going into detail of just how crazy it gets. Looking forward to it. Do you want to start this one off?
I will start this one off. The Age of Strife, or as well known as Old Night, which is from the millennia 25 to about the 30th. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah, that's what I think it's right.
During the age of technology, humanity had reached a scientific and technological peak, enjoying a golden age of prosperity and achievement. The Standard Template Construct, or STC, an artificial intelligence computer database of schematics for all known advanced human technologies, had been perfected by human scientists and engineers and allowed an unprecedented expansion of humanity throughout the galaxy. So that's pretty much just stating what the STCs were. It's just like humans and like scientists have just reached like a peak.
Yeah. Yeah, STCs are super important because, yeah, especially way later because we lose the STCs. So we lose the blueprints to make many advanced things.
Yeah, which doesn't make... Well, I mean, it's pretty lucky that the Emperor came along then. Hey,
the Emperor's been here the entire time.
He's just been waiting in the shadows?
Yes. Literally just watching.
Bro's literally been chilling back on the beach, fucking sipping a pina colada?
From what I've seen in a lot of like stories and rumors and stuff like that, basically the Emperor was around the time of Jesus. Perhaps even earlier. Like, he's been around a long time.
But obviously he's not immortal.
No, he is immortal. There's a lot of theories and rumors of like, was he born? Was he created? It was like a concentration of psychers that made him. I don't know the full details on his beginnings, but I do know but he's been around a very long time, just sort of watching.
It could have been like a belief thing. Like the people believed it, so people believe enough apparently in this universe. If you believe it enough, it could come true.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's like a super powerful psyker. He's immortal. He's a repatriate, I'm pretty sure. So if someone does manage to kill him, he just comes back.
Well, but like
much like the Salamander's Primarch.
Yeah, which makes sense considering the Primarchs were created by.
Yep, with his own genes.
With his own genes. So they took like aspects of his own genes. Clearly, certain traits of the gene as well.
Yeah, they experimented with a lot of different things, but I think like a lot of those like abilities and stuff, that's more accidental. It's hard to program.
Happy accidents, apparently.
Yeah. No, and I think some of them as well was interference from chaos. Like Sanguinius was not supposed to have wings.
They stole them because they stole the Primarchs were stolen and scattered throughout the galaxy onto different planets.
Yeah,
I do know that. However, I haven't heard the story about the Carcharodon's Primarch. Even though apparently he's fucking terrifying.
I don't think they have a Primarch.
Or maybe it's just he's a chapter master. But
yeah,
he's like
you're
massive apparently.
Yeah, I've heard of their chapter master, but they don't have a Primarch.
Okay, so
because there's only 20 Primarchs of the 20 legions, technically 21. if my memory and math is correct. But yeah, like
22. Two of them wiped from existence.
Yeah, and there was twins.
Okay, the twins are a different case though, because they still ran the same. They still ran the same like.
Well, let's just say it was like 2021 legions and like 2022 Primarchs. I don't remember the exact numbers.
But that's also the reason they kind of like had the twins were there as well, as technically. So people think they're twins, but people also think there's not twins, but because they think that any one of them could be the Primarch. That's what I know that story, because I heard that there's a story about around it as well, saying that the twins ran their own chapter, obviously, and in that chapter, and they're so like. Then none of them take the front line as being a Primarch, so that way anybody, technically any one of them could have been a Primarch.
They
kind of hide the Primarch.
From what I remember as well, the Legion they do a lot of like body modification to look like they're Primarch. It's all about misdirection and fuckery, and quite often they like to do that. They'll go and they'll jump into other legions. I think at one point one of their Primarchs was standing next to like Sanguinius or something, and just like a normal Space Marines armor, just fucking with him, like didn't say anything bad or anything, but it was just like, hi, I'm right next to you, you don't even fucking know.
Yeah, I mean,
like they're really good at infiltration.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
So that's why like, it's kind of weird. Like people don't actually know for certain, to my knowledge, if
there were actually twins.
I know there were definitely twins.
They were twins,
but they don't know for a fact if both are actually dead. They're pretty sure one is dead,
one is definitely dead. They say one is definitely dead. One is hiding between these like.
Yeah, it's really kind of hard to tell.
Well, yeah, considering their entire fucking thing is bullfuckery. Like, it's
and I think a new book came out about them not too long ago, which kind of changed the lore a bit.
Oh, that'd be cool. Anyway, so as already noted, one of the reasons humanity was so successful at conquering a large part of the galaxy was the development of the artificial intelligent constructs, now only known in the Imperial legend as the Men of Iron. These powerful and fully intelligent combat robots won many wars for humanity, but for some reason turned against their masters at the end of the Dark Age of technology, in the greatest conflict called the Cybernetic Revolt, which is basically what people are afraid of. It's Terminator, AI rising up and shit like that. The war was eventually won by humanity, but calm down. Yeah, but at a great cost, and only through the innovation of other factions. Intervention of other factions. The damage of this conflict proved catastrophic and shattered much of humanity's power. Unfortunately, this was only the beginning of mankind's misfortune, as the age of technology came to its end.
Called it.
Yeah.
So yeah, to my knowledge, there's still 1 or 2 Men of Iron getting around. I heard a story a while back. They're like basically they're laying low, but I can't remember where. But I think there's still 1 or 2 kicking around. But they know what they are and what everything's sort of going on. So they're purposely laying low. Like they don't want to rise up, build new armies. Well, they just want to live.
Yeah, well, I mean, would you blame them, considering now that if anybody fucking showed like that, they'd be immediately executed.
Now you're starting to get glimpses of why humanity really fucking hates the Tau. Because they have AI.
But the AI isn't trying to kill anybody. Well,
yet.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's exactly the point. The same thing. It happened to them. Like they were with them, whether they were masters or friends, fuck knows at this point. But like, yeah, they got to a point. AI was so great, and then it took a galaxy-wide war, and the other races had to get involved to stop it. And it fucked everything. So it's just like when they hear the Tau, like, hey, they have AI, like we will fuck you, heretic bastards. Like they consider them like Xenos scum or whatnot, but having like AI is like one of the big ones.
Well, I mean, like humanity is just inherently racist.
Yeah, like they don't even at this point they don't even remember why it's so bad. They just know it's like one of the biggest no-nos.
Yeah, true. Okay.
It's furthering their hatred, even though ironically at times they've worked with them, but that's more necessity than they really had no choice in some cases.
Well, we're about it's going to mention the Eldari here as well. I just read.
Nice.
Oh, as humanity became widely dispersed across the galaxy during the age of technology, the ancient Eldari Empire began its decline. The great success of the advanced Eldari species had led to dependence and
decadence and hedonism.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. I was helping on those two.
On a grand scale, what does that mean?
I'll put it bluntly. They got bored and decided just to kill and stab and do all sorts of nasty things to each other because they had nothing better to do. Anything to get a thrill.
Oh God, my eyes. Yeah, no, okay, that makes more sense.
So literally, they'll sit there and they'll be having sex with you, and then they'll just rip your throat out because it'll be exciting. Because they've been around that long, they are bored.
Right.
But if you have everything, you're super advanced, everyone's super healthy, you can do whatever you want, and you live ridiculously long lifetimes, you get bored.
I mean, I guess that's why people like think, it'd be great to be immortal. It really wouldn't.
It would for me. I'm never bored. There's always something to do.
True. Actually, I don't think I'd be ever bored too. My fucking brain is just like, oh, butterfly.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
hedonism on a grand scale.
In the Empire's final millennia, with the immaterial psychic universe of the warp, the spiritual corruption of the Eldari civilization was reflected in the forming of a new potent psychic gestalt.
Yep,
Gestalt entity or chaos gods, Slaanesh. Which in turn caused massive disturbances in the warp. Parts of the galaxy became isolated by these warp storms, making the warp travel and astrotelepathic. Yeah, that's it. Interstellar communication increasingly impossible as the years passed, cutting off many human colony worlds from one another, including those of the Sol system.
So, do you want me to elaborate on this one? This is some info that I do know.
What I've gotten is due to the Eldari fall, and because obviously the psychic universe of the warp is created Slaanesh, which is, I'm pretty sure Slaanesh is the chaos god of pleasure.
Excess,
that's the one. I don't know what they're actually like.
Well,
I mean, it's still the same thing.
It's kind of all of it, but basically, with the majority of the Eldari basically were parked on the Eye of Terror. The majority of their species was there, but also spread across the galaxy. And they were basically stab humping their way at ungodly precedence. Like their entire civilization is bored, is doing all this kind of stuff and torture and just all sorts of things. And then because they have such a large presence, like their souls within the warp, and the warp was affected by emotion, and because of being psychers, all that kind of stuff sort of culminated into basically, over an extended period of time, it just sort of built up in the warp and basically detonated. When this detonation happened, it burst Slaanesh. Slaanesh immediately killed like 4 of the Eldari gods. Just in birth, just a rage, just went and killed them. Killed about 90% of the Eldari race. So fucking billions just were dead. And yeah, that explosion traveled throughout the warp as well and created a bunch of warp storms and shit. So like, Slaanesh's birth was a very bad thing that happened. It fucked a lot up and took many with it. And now it is so bad. Basically, if an Eldari dies, their soul is immediately taken by Slaanesh.
Jesus.
That's why, like, whenever you look at the Eldari models, you notice those little fancy gems they got on them?
Yeah.
Those are the things that the Eldari have made, so their souls go into those gems.
Instead of going to Slaanesh.
Yeah, because you go to Slaanesh, that's it, you're fucked for eternity.
Yeah.
Because it basically...
it's kind of like hell.
Yeah, or worse.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
But yeah, even though it is like sort of hell, but yeah, Slaanesh is very, very bad in those regards. But yeah, so like that, Slaanesh is basically stopping them from going on. So the only thing you could do is you take your soul, you put it into these sort of gems, and those gems, they put them into like these sort of places, like a giant, like, they basically, it's almost like a giant pool of souls that they put together, and which can create a consciousness. It helps like powers their technology and their ships. Oh. It's a whole rabbit hole we'll get into, but it's actually really cool.
Jesus, okay.
But yeah, so Eldari, they fear death a lot because they know if their souls, those stones get cracked, they are fucked. Mm. In more ways than one.
Okay. Okay. Hang on. Oh, I apologize for the yawn. I clearly been working myself a little too hard the past few days.
That's all right. Yeah, after being fried on the weekend, I took today off as well.
Yeah. Okay, so towards the end of the Age of Technology, Psykers first appeared among yeah, okay, I'm reading that right. Among humanity, while persecuted on many backwards, regressive human worlds as witches.
Mm-hmm.
They had like a witch hunt. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
In enlightened and progressive societies, these Psykers were at first protected and accepted, yet the initial intolerance for the
emergence
of Psykers among humanity would later seem
prescient.
Prescient. What does prescient mean?
I think it means like beforehand.
Oh, okay. As many human worlds fell to the dominance of demons, the other warp creatures using possessed weak-willed psychers as gateways into the physical world, only worlds which had religious suppressed psychers survived the Age of Strife.
Prescient, having or showing knowledge of events before they take place.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, once Psychers really started turning up, yeah, bad things just started happening.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Age of Strife followed the Age of Technology as the interstellar human civilizations collapsed in its widespread insanity, demonic possession, anarchy, and inter-human civil war. Terrible. End the sentence. I keep doing that. I keep going on like in one breath. Terrible weapons of the Gold Age of Technology were unleashed, devastating many human colonies and turning once verdant worlds into such as Bald Secundus?
Yep.
I said that right?
Yep.
Nice. Into irradiated desert planet. Wait, why does that sound familiar? Is that an important place?
Very. That's Sanguinius' world. That's the Blood Angels.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's their world later. It's harsh as shit.
Yeah. Okay. So many many isolated and vulnerable human colonized worlds also became prey to hostile alien species such as the orc.
Gotta get a good crumpin', boys.
Yeah. Fucking love the orcs, man. I think if I had to play Warhammer, I think I would choose the orcs.
Say goodbye to your wallet.
Yeah, fucking they're expensive.
Yeah, because their strength is numbers.
Yeah.
You have a lot of big DACA, but you need a lot of DACA.
Big DACA. I mean, it'd be funny. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
In relative In a relatively short span of time, the once galaxy-spanning human civilization was brought to its knees, and the force was forced to endure nearly 5 Terran millennia of anarchy, terror, war, genocide, and slavery. Other than tales of great suffering, little information concerning these long years survived the dark time to be known to the men and women of the Imperium.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, they kind of like they knew it was bad, but kind of forgotten about the details of it.
Yeah, it's the average man and woman of 41st millennium is. Yeah, it's just it's the stuff of folklore. Yeah, it's been so long, like they don't know why things are bad. It's just bad. And the irony is too, during all of this is exactly what the Necrons were waiting for.
Yeah.
They would purposely go to sleep, let the Eldari do their thing. They'll spread out and do their thing. Other races will spread out, do their thing. Eventually, they'll collapse and fade away. And after millions of years, then we'll wake up. And then we can stuff around.
You're reading The Fall of the Eldari because I want to read The Great Crusade.
I can do that.
Which is next. I'm so happy.
So in the next video, The Fall of the Eldari. And this is where we really get some cool stuff. Because, yeah, these guys, and this is a big sort of chapter too. Because, yeah, everything they sort of did, the height of their power and all their sort of fun gimmicks and whatnot, and then Slaanesh coming around. And then you have the Drukhari, who, like, they know Slaanesh wants them, but basically what they're doing is they're continuing to doing the very horrible things that spawned her in an attempt to basically keep her happy so she doesn't claim them. That's why the Drukhari, they stay fucked up, because if they do the fucked up things, the fucked up thing won't get them for the fucked up things. That's the whole point. It is
like,
yeah.
Camera's gone a bit blurry. Hang on, sorry.
That's right. So yeah, like the Drukhari are fucking weird. Like Eldar, they're just like, I just want to when I die, I just want to go to heaven or whatever's beyond. I don't want to be tortured for like squintillion years because my grandfather humped himself into oblivion. That's pretty much what they did.
I mean, it's a really weird thing to say though. Like, I want to go Valhalla, not to like a weird sex demon.
Yeah. Well, Slaanesh is the god of excess.
Yeah.
So it's not
doing
just
things in excess.
Yeah. Well, it's not just bad things. It's like too much happiness, too much pride,
happiness, too much pride, too much anger.
Yep.
Too much fucking greed or excess spending, fucking excess building, excess eating, all of it just fucking
anything like that. That's
God, we'd be fucked.
Yeah, when we get to it, like the 7 layers of hell that's Slaanesh's domain is trippy as shit.
You know, I'm so glad that we don't actually have psychic energy because we would have created something this fucked up.
No, I think we should be a while off. Like,
I don't know.
Well, we're still early days for us, but you think like Eldari, they're around millions of years. These people have been kicking around.
Okay, so it took millions of years for them.
Yeah, it took a long time, but over time, like those walls begin to break down. And if you're parked right on the doorstep of the fucking warp, and all that psychic energy and emotion is pouring into the warp.
Do you think people that died before Slaanesh was made was like? Do you think they got free from it in a way? Like they were spared from that?
Yeah, I think they were.
Because they wouldn't have had those gems back then.
No.
Well, actually,
they might have had something similar, but I don't think not as intended for that.
It's alright. Just throw me in a fucking furnace and turn me into like fucking fossil energy. I don't give a fuck.
It's funny, most of the ships and equipment is actually made from the warp. It's trippy.
That's crazy.
It's called Wraithbone.
Wraithbone. They look really fucking weird in the photo that's there. The Eldari.
Yeah, this is a weird one. Agent Eldari lead their people aboard the craft world participation before the fall of the Eldari. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why do they look like the fucking
Predators?
No, not the Predators. They sort of have the same helmet as the what's his name? You know, the Emperor's guard.
Custodes.
There. They sort of have like the same fucking helmet as the Custodes.
Similar shape, like very tall.
Yeah, tall, like.
But yeah, that's just a style choice.
I wonder. So, what were the Eldari technically? Because obviously, there's different cultures in like reference in cultures in Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, being like the Tau being Japanese, you got the fucking Humanity being like almost Greek.
Yeah,
like
Greek, Roman, European.
Yeah, Greek, Roman, European. What would be what is the Eldari? Would they be like Mongolian? No, because there was an Imperium chapter that was basically Mongolian.
Yeah, the White Scars.
The White Scars, yeah.
Yeah, the Jakakai Khan or something. Was their Primarch?
Yeah,
I think the Eldari. I think they're just the fantasy element of it. Like,
I thought that's what Tau was. They're more like fantasy wise, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know for certain. Like, well, but basically, in almost any universe, you got to have elves, you got to have dwarves. I think that's just the gimmick. I don't know if they have like a kind of correlation to us or our history.
Egyptian.
Oh, there you go.
Immediately. As soon as I typed in Eldari, it came up with a symbol that is just very Egyptian.
But excuse me.
I mean, that's just assume they are very Egyptian.
Yeah, I'd buy it.
Wait,
but yeah, on our next episode, guys, and thank you very much for tuning in and being absolutely awesome. We love you guys. Next time, we got the fall of the Eldari, M25 to M30. Looking forward to that. And hopefully it fills in some more details because, like, my memory on some things is okay, but like, obviously I don't know all the details until we get to it. But a lot of my knowledge is just pieced together from other people and, like, some books. So, like, I know, like, Slaanesh is bad, but even I don't know all the details.
Oh, so that's where they come into it. Now, wonder I like the Eldari a little bit more. The Harlequins.
Yeah. The Laughing God is one of the few that got away.
Right. That makes...
So I know the Laughing God got away. There was another god. I don't remember her name, but she's trapped and she's in a jar and Nurgle has her.
Of course Nurgle has her.
But he actually, if my memory's correct, he actually loves her. So it's not like a sick, well, he is a sick twisted kind of thing.
I guess the Harlequins more worship the Laughing God. From what I can tell. Yes.
There is one of the other ones that did get away. It was it's not Khorne, it's Cain or something like that. So it was like their god of war, and then later on they actually created a god of death. That's actually a more recent thing.
Oh, which is okay.
It was actually
the Laughing God, the god of death, all that kind of stuff is the one. So technically, these are the gods that Slaanesh killed.
No, Slaanesh killed others.
Other gods. But yeah, so I guess the Eldari just had a lot of fucking gods.
Oh, they had a few. Yeah, same to me. Probably like 5 to 10, maybe something like that. I don't know the full details. I know a good chunk of them got wiped out, as well as many of the actual Eldari themselves.
You know what?
It is one big kaboom.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, and this is like not with the whole multiple god thing. It's kind of like it's very Indonesian.
I'd buy it.
It's more like I feel like it's a mix between like Egyptian and Indonesian in a way.
Maybe I'm not entirely certain.
I mean, it's cool though. Don't get me wrong, they're fucking sick. I mean, if I'm wrong, then like I'm sorry. That's what it looks like to me as well. I'm an untrained eye anyway. So
well, the funny thing is too is like that new god that they've created of death. It's because of their help with the priestess chick. I can't remember her name. She's the waifu. Everyone knows the waifu. Because of the new god, that's the reason why Gilliman is alive now.
Really?
They can restore the body, but you got to restore the soul.
Oh.
So in order to actually save Gilliman and bring him back, he was on his throne in stasis, on the cusp of death. So basically, to bring him back, they had to kill him and then bring him back.
Are any of the corrupted the traitors from the Horus Heresy, the Primarchs, are they still around?
In current time, yes.
Oh, so most of them are still kicking.
Yeah, Angron's still around. Fulgrim is just about to return on tabletop. You got is it Mortarion? I can't remember. It's Nurgle's one. He's still around.
I can do something.
Just type in, yeah, Chaos Primarchs. Yeah, I said Angron. There's another one. I think it's the dude you talked about him before. He was the guy basically. He set off the whole the Emperor's a God kind of thing. I can't remember his name.
Oh, he was Horus?
No, that wasn't Horus. Horus is long dead.
The one from the fucking.
I've
Shit.
for the
I
life
know
of me,
I know the one you're talking about. I do.
Because last I heard, he sort of just went into the warped and sort of just stayed there. So I don't know what happened to him.
Hang on. That would have been. Wait, hang on. Sorry, I got really fucking close to that face. Okay, so name. Because it was you got the sons of the word bearers, correct?
That's them.
Lorgar.
Yeah,
was his name?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Last I heard, he went to the warp, kind of just went there. Oh, there's also the
Is from Corvus Space. Alive?
Who?
Corvus.
No idea.
The Night Lords.
No, he's dead as far as anyone knows. I think.
Okay, fair.
There's also the other one. It's
No, wait. Corvus isn't the Night Lords. No, he's the Raven Lord from Ravengard.
Hang on, I just need to pull up the names of the Primarchs. I know when I see it.
Okay, you got Leon L. Johnson.
All right, hang on. I was pulling it up too.
Lion, Fulgrim. I've literally got the Primarch Sons of the Emperor, literally just a page, and it's just got names and faces with them smiling. Apparently.
All right.
I could send you the link.
Here we go. I've actually got a thing here. It's someone else has put up a thing a year ago about who's alive, who's dead, who's missing.
Oh.
So this will actually help us out. So we got Dark Angels, Lionel Johnson. He's alive. His books are fucking awesome. The White Scars, Jakatai Khan. He's missing. He went into the warp. I think he actually went to the Webway, and no one's seen him since. Lehman Russ, Space Wolves. He's missing. There's actually a big quest to kind of find him. Rogel Dawn was in a fight. I think he got a hand chopped off, and he's gone missing. Sanguinius, very dead. And yet, although he's made a few appearances, which is kind of weird.
Is he coming back?
There's a rumor that he might be, but how is the question?
I mean, Sanguinius would be. Oh yeah, this is. There's a photo of a year ago of their faces crossed out of which ones are dead.
You got Ferrus Manus. Iron Hands. Ferrus Manus is dead.
Khan is unknown.
Yeah, I'm going through the list. I just told you that.
So what? So no one knows where he is.
No, he went. I think he went into the Webway chasing either Eldari or Drukari, and he just vanished. No one's seen him since. So going through the list as well. So we got Ferrus Manus, he's dead. Gilliman, he's alive. You got Vulcan, he's missing. He's repatriated. He just keeps coming back. Corvus Corax, that's the Raven Guard. He's the one that's missing as well.
Yeah.
Then we got the Traitor Legions.
Can you tell me their legion, the what they run as well, so I can keep mental note, because I do know the names. However, it's really hard when I don't know who they run.
All right, I'll go through it again just to help out as well. Just real quick. Dark Angels, Lionel Johnson. Okay. White Scars, Jakatai Khan. Space Wolves, Lehman Russ. Imperial Fists, Rogel Dawn. Blood Angels, Sanguinius. Rogel Dawn
is
dead. Dawn is. Where'd that just go? Sorry, my brain just farted. Then Rogel Dawn is missing.
Missing.
Yeah, all they found was his hand. Because he's been attacked by Chaos Space Marines, and he just vanished. No one knows where he is.
Oh, nice.
So we got Sanguinius Blood Angels, got the Iron Hands Ferrus Manus, got the Ultramarines Reboot Gilliman, Salamanders as Vulcan. Then we've got Raven Guard Corvus Corax.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got the Traitor Legions. We've got Emperor's Children, Fulgrim. He's around.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's been around for ages. He's just returned to tabletop.
Fulgrim's the guy because the Emperor's Children with the Purple Legion, the one that I like, because I like the color purple.
He's like a snake demon thing.
Scrawny fucking bastard.
Then we got the Iron Warriors, Perturabo. It says Demon Primarch, so I'm guessing he's still around.
Iron Warriors. What a God,
yeah, I haven't seen too much on them. Then we got the Night Lords. That's Conrad Kurz. He's dead.
Conrad. Oh yeah, that's because I just see an X on his face.
Yeah.
Conrad is
got the World Eaters, Angron. He's around still. Got Death Guard, Mortarion. So I was right.
Yep.
And then we got Thousand Suns. Magnus, that was the name I was trying to think of. Magnus is still around.
So the Thousand Suns, which is obviously Magnus, is actually still kicking. So we've technically versed his Legion, but we didn't verse him.
Yeah, in the game, yeah. Right now, currently, I think he just got pushed. Yeah, he just got beaten back. Magnus right now is fucking with the Space Wolves.
How cool would it be, right? And now this would just be fucking hilarious, right? How cool would it be if they actually put an actual Primarch in one of the games?
They wouldn't
do it. Like see one of the Primarchs. Why though? It's a cool thing to do.
Because
imagine fucking running into one of your Primarchs.
Yeah, but then you'd set the internet on fire. Why isn't my Primarch here? Blah blah blah. Why can't we play as the Primarch?
Because the stories the two Space Marines are told from the story of the Ultramarines.
Yeah, there's a lot of favoritism to the Blue Boys. It's kind of annoying.
Well, then again, they're like an easy middle.
Let me finish the list before we get sidetracked any further. Yeah. I've got like 3 left. We got Black Legion, Sons of Horus. Horus is obviously dead. Got the Word Bearers, Lorgar, so he's still kicking around.
Yeah.
And we got Alpha Legion, Alpharius, and Omegon. 1 dead, 1 missing. So I was right.
You were correct.
So we've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7 demon. Oh no, we got 6 demon Primarchs running around and 1 Primarch missing with the Traitor Legions.
But there's 8 Primarchs running, basically alive. Or missing. Oh, sorry, hang on. Well, unknown. Hang on, sorry, let me.
Yeah. So on the loyal side, we've got 1, 2. 13. There's 2 confirmed alive right now for the good guys.
So there's technically 13 supposedly alive. Some of them are just missing.
Yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are missing from the loyal legions. And if they do come back, shit's gonna hit the fan. It's
really fucking funny because the photo I have has a giant X on the Emperor's face, dead. like he's dead too. He's not dead. He's not alive, but he's not dead.
Yeah, like technically he's dead, but his energies and whatnot that would allow him to come back to a new body, to my knowledge, they're being trapped. Because they've got him so stuck with all that psychic energy on the throne, so the world doesn't implode in a black hole. So like he's not allowed, he can't come back.
Imagine, now this would be fucking hilarious, right? Imagine if the humans managed to trick the orcs into believing that the Emperor was so fucking strong that he could do whatever he wanted. Right? Because remember, orcs have like a very high psychic energy. And if they believe something's hard enough, it happens, right? How cool would that be if the Emperor just one day, just like, some guy's looking away from him and looks back, he's brand new, and he just steps up from the throne like, bitch, I'm here.
It would be cool, almost very impossible to do, but if the Emperor returned, the galaxy would burn.
You know what I was hoping? Because technically we did fight on Terra. I wanted to see, at least, it'd be really cool if we managed to get to the throne room to see the Emperor on his fucking chair. That would have been cool.
Well, if you go through the book of when Rabute actually comes back, when he actually goes into like the Emperor's throne room, it's not like gold and lies and it's basically like a crypt.
Well, yeah.
He goes, the doors swing open from the custodians open it. It's just a black void he walks into. And it's just, he eventually goes in there and it's just like, yeah, he's on a throne, 10 billion cables and all sorts of shit. and it's like he has like a psychic conversation with the Emperor, and it's all like, "Hey, I'm so glad to see you. You're a fucking disappointment, but you had this great plan, but I wish you would fucking die." It's basically all the random thoughts of what the other person would be thinking. And like there's like final words is like, save us, or save our Imperium, or some shit like that.
So it's not his thoughts; it's the people that's around him.
No, it's
billions of thoughts.
From the thing that I read and listened to on YouTube. It's it's kind of like an excerpt sort of thing. But basically, like, how many random thoughts you have in a day? Well, what if someone could hear that? It's like, hey, I'm so happy to see you, but then you had that part of the back of your brain says this guy is a fuck up.
Oh, so
it's that.
Wait, please don't tell me they're the Emperor's thoughts, or just the guy that walks in there. It starts. You can hear his thoughts become aloud now.
It was kind of that when he was talking to his son Gilliman. It's like, I'm so happy to see you. You're a fuck up. Save the Imperium, for the love of God, burn it down. Like every random thought you sort of could have had in that short span. Now, I don't know if anyone gets up me, I don't know if that conversation is lore accurate. This is what I found on YouTube, but it sounded cool as shit.
Sounds pretty sick.
But I do know from the end of that book, he did go in there and like basically the door shut. He went in there for a long time and then came back out and he had a conversation with the Emperor, but he wouldn't say anything about it to anyone. So yeah, but real interesting. Like Khan coming back, like fuck knows what happened to him. Like I think he's in the webway somewhere, which the webway, what we learned, is a labyrinth.
Sonic.
You just get lost.
No,
Russ,
his name is Sonic from now on because he is
gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. Like his entire legion is hit and run tactics.
Yeah, mounted combat.
Yep. And they have some seriously cool fucking bikes, man. Oh,
like they did some cool shit. Like in the book I read, like when the White Scars were fighting the Tau, like they would get on their bikes, they speed around, they'd jump on like a destroyed spaceship, and then they would fly through the air, and we would be swiping at people, and like doing dirt bike tricks, like all sorts of shit. Like they know how to use them.
Well, I mean, Khan has made them fucking get hobbies too. So no matter what, they're always thinking.
Yeah, like Russ, fuck knows where he is at the moment. They've found pieces of his weapons and armor, whatnot. But he's sort of thing like every now, a few hundreds of thousands of years, whatever, he'd get visions. Like he would send visions to people to come and find him, but they would end up leading their people on a great important quest to do something else. So they didn't even actually find him. But he reckons like before Russ, he just got up and actually left because he was so disheartened. Apparently he'll be back at the end. So whenever the fuck that is, Dawn, the missing hand, fuck knows where he is.
Imagine if the guy just like quit basically, and he's just gone to a planet to lay low.
Well, that's one of the theories basically, because he was actually, his heart was broken because
he's pretty fucking strong. That's sure.
If my memory's correct, basically he had like a spear. Like if you hit someone with it, you could show them the truth of what they were doing, of who they were, what was happening, and he went and to try and deal with Horus, and the problem is that he sort of did it and the thing worked, but it didn't change anything. So everything sort of went to shit, and Russ couldn't do anything about it. A bunch of his brothers were dead, his dad was dead.
I mean,
he was heartbroken and just left.
Dude, I mean, that's the most human fucking reaction. Like the guy is a demigod, and yet he's just like, fuck, that hurts. And I can't take it anymore. Bro is probably just grieving somewhere.
The irony is too, like Leon Russ, he goes from like very like Thor storyline to like being like Odin. And like it's all like when you read his stuff, it's very on the nose. It's like very like Norse gods sort of story.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Sanguinius.
Even though the Vikings is the Space Wolves, like
I love the Space Wolves. They're cool as shit.
Yeah,
and the Space Wolves, like quite often, the Space Wolves, like if you do good in battle, they're the ones that will actually have your back. Like even if like if you're a normal human and you've seen chaos, typically like the Imperium or whatever, they'll kill you because you're not supposed to see that stuff. You know, chaos tent, whatnot. The fucking Space Wolves will be the first in line to actually protect you. It's like, no, these guys did good. They helped us protect this world. Fuck off.
Give Titus to the Space Wolves. He'd be a great space. Titus, you know the guy who literally held chaos in his hands from Space Marine 2. Titus.
Oh, him, yeah.
Give him to fucking Space Wolves. Hello? Dude clearly is the main character.
Nah, he's too boring.
Really? It didn't seem that way.
Nah, Titus is boring as shit compared to the Space Wolves. They have personality.
Okay. Yo, next game.
Like, when the Emperor first met Lehman Russ, he challenged him to a drinking contest.
Yep.
And then challenged him to an eating contest. And the Emperor got so pissed off with him, challenged him to like a one-on-one fight. Because the Emperor was posing as like a different person. And when it came to the fight, just revealed himself as the Emperor and knocked Lehman the fuck out. Because he got mad. Because he lost twice.
Fucking hell. I mean, like, Lehman was Lehman, bro. Like, the guy was literally a guy who could drink and eat for like, he lived the Viking life.
Yeah, but it's just everything the Emperor can do, and he lost to this pig of a human. Is like, I'm fucking annoyed at you, and just brr! And eventually Lehman gets back out, laughs. It's like, okay, I swear myself to you.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, like, the Space Wolves are probably the cool, like, in my opinion, again, probably one of the coolest factions because, again, like, yes, they will have your back. However, the only reason they aren't really well liked is because they could turn on you with an instant if the Emperor commanded it.
Well, they were the Emperor's executioners.
Yes, but that's why most of the guys didn't fucking trust the Space Wolves because they didn't trust someone who could like share a drink with you, but then tomorrow just end up like being sent to kill you and have no remorse about it.
Yeah, it's not that cut and dry. Like, every legion has their secrets and weird things about them. Like, it's more like the Space Wolves are more likely to stab you in the front than to stab you in the back, and your camera's blurred again.
Yeah, give me a second.
No, there it goes.
Hey, we fixed it.
But yeah, like, it wasn't until later, once actually it was around the time Magnus started turning up and doing all his shit, the Space Wolves actually started going around the galaxy because they started finding their brothers from years and years back, like from the Horus Heresy, that they become werewolves. And their thing is like, normally Space Wolves aren't big on secrets or doing like things like dipping in and out, but they were going to these different planets and finding their brothers from old. They've been shifted and changed in so many different ways. Like, these are our brothers, we must protect them. They ended up on one planet to try and save a couple of them, and the fucking Dark Angels were there. And they saw what was going on. And normally Space Wolves, if there's a fight, they stick around. They're like, nope, they got what they wanted and fucked off, which raised a lot of eyebrows very quickly. And then once the Dark Angels and a few others started cluing in, they went to challenge the Space Wolves on what was happening, and that's pretty sure that's when Magnus invaded and started just laying waste to the fucking Space Wolves system. Like, full chaos space magic, just going for it. Like, it's pretty cool.
Didn't end well for him. Didn't end well for Magnus, that's for sure.
Magnus was winning.
I mean, they still suffered a lot of fucking casualties going up against Space Wolves.
You don't care.
Oh yeah, true.
It's chaos. And if a chaos demon dies, it goes back to the warp, and it'll come back later.
So they gave him immortality to someone who was already basically immortal.
Yeah, the rules for demon primarchs is a little weird. But like, just normal like chaos demons, like, unless you have something that severs their connection to the warp, they go to the warp for a certain time and then they can come back through portals and shit like that. Like, they have to be brought through.
Blast of the planet.
Yeah. But like, I think it's like, yeah, especially Angron. There are rules for him. Like, if he dies, I think it's like every 6 days to the 6 hours to the 6 minutes, then he can return and just rip and fucking tear. Like, yeah, there are definite rules for him.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know all the full details, but like you get through the whole list of all the legions. Like, there's so many cool fucking stories. And then you got the other races. Like, we haven't even touched on Shadow Sun or fucking I'm trying to think of like the orc leaders. Like, I know them, I can't think of the names. There's a lot of cool orc stories. Like, there's a rabbit hole.
Oh, there's some real fucking fun orc stories out there.
Yeah. So we got a lot of work to do. I realize this is a very long tangent considering we're about to end the episode, but
I mean, yeah.
But it is what it is.
We're gonna have to make another podcast just to talk about shit.
Why? That's the point of a podcast. Talk bullshit.
No. But like this is Space Marines bullshit. Like this is the Warhammer bullshit. I'm talking like because we go on a tangent to real life bullshit. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to make another fucking podcast channel just around real life bullshit.
Yeah, IRL bullshit. Yep.
IRL bullshittery.
Yeah, we got that one, and then we got the conspiracy ones, and then we got going through history and how much bullshit is there. So that's 4 podcasts.
Don't even start me on the conspiracy fucking podcast. I will do that. I am so into the conspiracy, man.
The moon is made of cheese.
No, the moon landing was fake.
The irony is too, like of all the actual conspiracy theories, that one is the dumbest. Because even like the ultimate thing is like people are so hell bent, like it was fake. Okay, it's fake. And
yeah, what does that prove?
How does this affect your life?
I mean, we've had people in zero gravity anyway, so how does that mean that the moon landing is fake now?
Like if the people didn't go to the moon then, but went to the moon a couple of years later, or last year, or whatever, like, does that actually matter? No. But it's a whole like the government's lying to you, blah blah blah. It's that's one of the dumbest ones I've heard.
I mean, this is not something new. Okay, we're not getting into this. I'm about to go into a fucking rabbit hole.
Comment section. Now we must start the conspiracy. We must convince Oni that the world is flat.
Good fucking luck. There are so many videos proving that or otherwise.
I can't stand those videos because it's always voiced by like the same person. They're so flat when they speak.
Have you seen the one the guy who did an experiment? Right, he's doing like a world flat experiment, and it's like through the hole, and it's a guy who holds up like end up and down, and he's like talking. Yeah. He goes, "Oh yeah, we should definitely see it." Okay, so all right, can you hold it up? He holds it up and goes, "What? Well, that's not normal." Like,
yeah,
I can't see it.
There was another one like they had like a bunch of like portraits spread over a certain distance with a camera pointing through a hole. It's like if the Earth is flat, I should be able to see straight through it, and like the thing just immediately just curved down. It's like immediately disproved. There's another idiot made his own rocket to prove the Earth was flat, ended up blowing himself up, or he crash landed, one of the two.
Like that guy that did the fucking Titanic thing, huh?
Yeah,
I didn't hear about the rocket one. That one's new.
Yeah, it was a little while ago. He built it himself. Like it was an intelligent dude, which strikes you as fucking crazy. A dude built a rocket,
and yet believed that the world was flat.
Yeah, so it's like there's just no limit to stupidity.
Well, hang on. There's also people that are still out there that believe that the world revolves around the Earth.
Most people will think the world rolls around them. Like this is no surprise.
Yeah, that's very fucking true. It's very obvious.
Like I know it does for me because I'm fat. I have my own gravitational field, but I'm
getting there. I'm almost there.
I have my own orbit. But yeah. But anyway, guys, we are going to call it there because now we're just going into Looney Tunes territory. But next episode, the Fall of Eldari, we'll try and stay on point. Maybe.
Hopefully. Maybe.
We'll see.
No promises.
But yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching this video, guys. Greatly appreciate it as always. Me, Dax, thank you. And we got Oni, of course.
Thanks, guys.
So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Turtles.